Hello, Ted Morrissey here, doing a video for my course in creating websites, social media presences, and those kinds of things that authors often do to promote themselves and their books online. And we've reached the point where we're trying to build our websites, establish our social media, platform presence, however you want to say that, whether that's on X, aka or formerly known as Twitter, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok, whatever it may be, right? Some of us are enjoying the process immensely. Maybe some of us have had websites and social media stuff going on for years, so we're just sort of fine tuning and adding some details and that kind of thing. Others of us are starting from scratch, but for whatever reason, we've taken to it like fish to water, and we are loving building our websites and all that stuff. Others of us, not so much. We're really struggling, can't quite figure out how to get our website up and running. It's just really causing us all kinds of headaches. And I get that. It's been a number of years since I first started putting websites online. I've got a few that I maintain for one reason or another. I've got my tedmorrissey.com, which is my sort of professional writing website with links to all my books and things. I've got 12winters.com, which is my press and my online journal that I publish and so forth. And so I've maintained that for over a decade now. I've got the tunnel at 25.com, which is devoted to this guy, William H. Gass, and his novel, The Tunnel. When it turned 25 years old, a couple of years ago, I had an online seminar based on the book, and so I maintained that website. And I've had a few others now and again for one reason or another. And so, yeah, so sometimes I've run into difficulties because even if you've done a website and have a website, if you create a new one with a different template, it oftentimes works somewhat differently than the one you're used to. Or, just out of the blue, WordPress will change, something, and suddenly your website that you've been using for years and updating regularly, you'll go to update something, and it's like, whoa, what's happened here? They've totally changed how you edit things and add things and so forth. So yeah, there can be some curveballs thrown at you, but usually, I think if you kind of stick with it, you can figure it out. If not, that's where troubleshooting tutorials come in handy. And basically, people who are struggling with their let's say WordPress site, but it could be GoDaddy, could be Wix, could be any of the website platforms. You can go and get help. You can either find videos that will speak to your specific problem and show you how to fix it. You can go to frequently asked questions on the website, and lo and behold, other people have had the same issues you're having, and so you can find answers to those questions. Live chat. You can use the live chat feature and talk to a techie at WordPress or GoDaddy or wherever, and tell them what the problem is, and they will hopefully give you some useful information. And I've used all those things over the years as I've run into kind of brick walls. I've tried my best, and I've tried to do things as I've done them before, but for whatever reason, I'm not figuring it out. So videos are helpful. The frequently asked question chat rooms online for WordPress particularly are good, but again, all of them have them. And I have used the live chat with techies before too, right? I don't find those quite as helpful usually because the way like someone who's like an expert in programming approaches a problem is different from just a everyday user of WordPress or whatever. And so we aren't necessarily speaking the same language, but whatever, that option is out there. So I think using those options, you should be able to figure it out. Obviously, I'll try to help you if I can, but it's kind of different remotely or difficult remotely to do that. Right. I did want to speak very, very specifically to one of the elements that you have to include in your web page or if you're doing a blog, somehow or another, the assignment wants you to have a work in progress link or some kind of element in your online presence. In other words, things you're working on. That's kind of unusual. I think if you look at authors' web pages, and I've in this announcement, I've given you several to look at. You don't really find that. You don't really find an author giving you information about things they're working on. They give you links to things they've already published. They give you links to books that are available on Amazon or elsewhere, and that kind of thing. But they don't generally say, hey, I'm working on this project or this project, and here's a link that describes it or gives you an excerpt from it or something like that. Maybe they do once in a while, but it's pretty unusual. But here's what's going on with that, I think. I didn't design the curriculum, so I can't say for sure, but this is my best guess, is that normally, as you see on authors' web pages, there are links to things they've published and, again, books that are for sale, that kind of thing. The assumption is that most of us in this program probably don't have those things. We don't have things we've already published, stories, poems, whatever it might be. We don't have books on Amazon, although some of us do. Some of us have published stuff. Some of us do have books that are available, but a lot of us don't. So for those of us who don't, we can't obviously have a link on our webpage that says, novels or stories or publications or something like that. So in lieu of that, the assignment has you put a work in progress, the assumption being that you've been in the program to this point. Hopefully you've got at least some short stories or some poems that you've written that you can talk about in the work in progress area. I would say if you have publications that you can list, that's what you ought to put instead of work in progress. And for those of you who put work in progress, just to meet that element for this course and this assignment, as you start to get publications and you maintain your website, presumably, I would go in there and revise work in progress or works in progress, however you phrase it, to publications or books or poems or whatever it might be, right? So instead of talking about things you're working on, just share with readers things that have been published or that are available to read or to be purchased or whatever it might be. All right. So don't stress out. Use those online resources to try to help you figure it out. Don't get mad at moi if I click on the link you send me and it doesn't take me anywhere. Not my fault. My computer isn't broken. My stuff is all working okay. And there's just a little glitch in the system yet that you need to work out with your website or your blog or whatever. But use those online resources. Again, talk to me and I'll try to help if I can. Maybe through a Zoom conference or through email or whatever. But again, those professional troubleshooting options are probably your best bet. They're going to be much more able to kind of help you. And rest assured, if you're having a particular problem, a zillion other people have had this same problem. So there's a solution to it, and somebody can tell you exactly what it is, although I may not be able to immediately. All right, I'm going to stop there, but good luck. We'll get there.